So welcome back, guys. Today let's do something different and talk about what I got on Black Friday. Because Black Friday is always every year. It's something that I always want to go out and find these movies or movie stuff like action figures that I really do want to get, but I just either didn't have a chance to get during the year or I'm just excited for, and finally I'm able to get them on Black Friday. So let's get started with my first buy, and this is the big buy. This is something that is not a movie because everything else is going to be a movie. And this is related to a movie, of course. It is the Friday the 13th, the final chapter NECA figure of Jason. And, oh, he's gone. He's right here. Jason Voorhees. And I think that's just a really cool figure. Like the other two I've got with the Jason Lives one and the Freddy's Revenge one, I think this is a great figure. Looks very detailed, very well done. And I really am liking these NECA figures. I think they're so greatly articulated and greatly detailed that I feel like these are the best action figures you can get for this type of thing, for this cult thing, for horror movies, for horror memorabilia. I think NECA is a great toy option to go. So I really do love these NECA figures, and that's the only one I got because they're pretty expensive. They're $30 a pop, so I do want to get more in the future, though. Now, DVDs. Now, I went to this place called Half Price Books where they had a lot of DVDs that were just $1 each. So, I got a lot of good buys. First off, I got Wes Craven's Cursed. And then I got this 4-pack with Slither, Altered, Crywolf, and The Return. I've only seen Slither in this pack, so I thought that was a worthy purchase just to try out these other movies. So I did want to see Crywolf really bad. I don't know about Altered or Return, but I did want to see Crywolf. I thought that looked really fun. And then I got Fear.com for $1, which I have not seen before. This one, by the look of like the images in the back, this looks like it got a really bad critical reception, but that's nothing to say with a horror movie, because usually horror movies for the most part have bad critical reception, except for some of the ones that are critically praised, but most of the time horror movies don't get that much praise. So I'll see what I think personally of this, if it's entertaining, if it's fun. I hear it's really bad, but I like bad horror movies too, so we'll see. And this image is just creepy. Like, that's a cool, creepy image, but I know nothing about the movie. I'm guessing it's a website. Wait, no, actually, it says on the cover, want to see a really killer website. So I guess that's what it is. And speaking of bad movies, I haven't seen this all the way through, but I'm really excited to watch the whole of The Wicker Man, the Nicolas Cage version. And it's bad to say that I'll see this probably before the original version, which I hear is pretty good. But this one, just the scenes I've seen of this movie alone, I'm so excited to watch this for the first time, and I'll review it on this channel like all these other videos. But I'm so excited to talk about it because the clips I have seen so far are insane and so hilarious, and I really... Nicolas Cage does like what Nicolas Cage does. He's fantastic at being goofy and being silly. So I really am excited to see the rest of the movie. I've seen a lot of it, but not as a whole. And then I got this 4-pack of post-apocalyptic films. Universal collection of post-apocalyptic films. So Waterworld, Children of Men, Skyline, and Doomsday. I have only seen Children of Men. I have seen parts of Waterworld. I have not seen Skyline or Doomsday. So, love Children of Men. That's an incredible movie. But Waterworld, I hear, is not that great, or people don't like it that much. But I'm really interested to see all of it because I hear it's an inventive, kind of creative movie, from what I've heard. So I really like that. Or, I mean, I hope I like it like that. And then this movie, which I am excited to rewatch, and it's incredibly rare to find, but I got a shitty cover and didn't realize this. Somebody wrote on that on the inside of this DVD. Probably a kid who owned this. But Return to Oz. If anybody's seen this movie, tell me. This is an awesome movie. This is the, I guess, canon sequel to the 1939 Wizard of Oz, Judy Garland one, because it has the red slippers in it. But the thing I love about Return to Oz, and I'm so excited to rewatch it eventually, but this is dark as hell, and this is a kids' Disney movie, and it is dark. It is 80s dark, and it is incredible. It is so fun. So creepy. Like, there's nothing else I can really say about it that everybody said about it, but it is really creepy and really good and really a great, fun, inventive movie. Like the original Wizard of Oz, but it's not the same thing. It's literally, it's a sequel technically, but it's darker, it's scarier. It's not trying to be the original movie again, which I really congratulate. That's good that they did that. That's awesome. So this is a very, very good forgotten gem that a lot of people, I think, have either seen or have not seen and heard it's scary, and it's definitely worth watching. So check it out if you can. But I love Return to Oz. It's such a good movie. And then for that dollar sale at Half Price Books, I also got first two Grudge movies. And I've seen these before. I like the first one a lot. I remember the second one being okay in a lot of aspects, but not okay in a lot of aspects. I thought some of it was really stupid, but from what I remember, I did like the first one a lot, and the second one just was kind of in the middle. But I wanted to review them on this channel, and that gave me an excuse to try to watch the third Grudge movie, which I have not seen, the sequel that nobody knows about, this direct-to-video. But I'm excited to rewatch the first two Grudges again. So I'll eventually watch them and then review them on this channel as well. And then this one I am incredibly excited for is Silent Night. And I have not seen this. I have seen the original 5 Silent Night, Deadly Night movies. Love the first one. Love the second one in a so bad it's good way. The third one is awful, and the fourth one and fifth one are bad, but they are inventively bad. So I'm really interested to see what this remake is, and I heard it's kind of a very loose remake where it's just like a Killer Santa. It's not really the same story as the original, but I want to watch this just to review it and to see it for the first time and actually say I can see it now, or say that I have seen it now. So I'm really interested to see this, and it's got a pretty not bad cast. Like, it's got Malcolm McDowell and Jamie King and Donald Logue, or however you pronounce his name, the Grounded for Life dude, and then these two other people I don't know. But this, I'm interested to see what this is like, and I just do want to watch it just to complete my Silent Night, Deadly Night films. Like, this is the only one I haven't seen, so I'm excited for that. And now on to the Blu-rays. I got two superhero movie Blu-rays, and then I got the rest are horror movies. So first one is Justice League, and I didn't buy this whenever it first came out because this one I think isn't bad. This isn't a bad movie. I don't even think any of the DC movies are bad. I just feel like a lot of them are underwhelming, or just people just like to find anything to complain about. So I don't think any of them are awful by a long shot. But this one was the one where I felt like the least. I wanted to rewatch it the least. And I want to rewatch and review them for Aquaman coming out next month. So I thought, why not get it on Black Friday for $6? And I did enjoy it for what it was whenever I saw it in the theater, but I've only seen it once, so I'm interested to rewatch it and see what it's like. But we didn't get the Zack Snyder cut, and I don't know if we will, but I'm interested to see if this holds up or gets worse, because I don't know, I feel like a lot of people enjoy this one a lot, even though it's like critically not very rated very good, but a lot of these DC movies aren't. A lot of people enjoy them, so I don't know. I'll rewatch this again and tell you guys what I think. But I enjoyed this. I remember for the most part. And then Deadpool 2. Deadpool 2 is awesome. A great sequel. One of the, like, it's so much like the first one, where it's not like it's detriment to it, but it's weird. I kind of forgot some of what this movie, like the jokes and everything, are about, because this is very like the original, like the first one in a lot of ways. So there are jokes I do remember, but I felt like a lot of them I kind of forgotten already, since I've only seen this once as well. That, like, not saying that this movie is bad in any way, shape, or form, but it's just, since it's so much like the first one, in terms of like the humor, I think they meld together for me, or I remember the humor from the first one more, but I've seen the first one more. So this one I've only seen once, and I'm excited to watch it again, because I did enjoy this one a lot. I thought it was a really great sequel, even though it was a lot like the first one. But that's not a real complaint, it's just something where they felt bunched together to me, where I kind of thought jokes were from one or the other, and I kind of forgot which one was which. So I am excited to rewatch Deadpool 2 eventually, but I got that for $6 as well. And then another $6 buy, which is It. And I've been wanting to get this since it came out, because I saw the movie in the theaters twice. I thought this was incredibly entertaining, incredibly fun. I loved the characters. I thought that they were good for a horror movie, like in terms of like they had a lot of like these kid actors were really good and they had a lot of great performances, and I thought that the guy who played Pennywise in this version is really good too. He's really creepy. But he's kind of like kid creepy in a way. Like he's not it's not like you see him like do anything super gory, but he is really creepy and really scary, and there's a lot of good moments that actually did make me like go, whoa, I'm surprised that they did that. That's cool. Even though it's not gory a lot of the time, it's this guy who did Pennywise is really good, and it really did have some great atmosphere and build up to it and great characters, and a lot of great thrilling moments. And it's kind of not horror comedy, but it's in a way where it's got some humorous moments, kind of like how Chucky is, I guess. Like it's got a lot of moments where it's silly, but like you take it seriously, if that makes sense. But yeah, I really enjoyed it. I saw it twice in the theater, so I feel like I had to get it, but I waited too long, I guess. I thought I would have gotten it whenever it came out, but I for some reason didn't. But I got it on Black Friday, so $6, not too bad. And then we get to A Quiet Place, one of my favorite horror movies this year, and this year has been a fantastic fantastic year for horror movies. This isn't my favorite one, but this is one of my favorites, if that makes any sense. Like, there's like 5 or 6 horror movies this year that are incredible, that blew me away, or were just really entertaining. Hereditary, A Quiet Place, Suspiria, Halloween, and there's a couple more that I can't think of on the top of my head that blew me away and were really, really either entertaining or a great movie. And this is an awesome movie, and I love the fact that this movie came out in 2018. John Krasinski directed it, and his wife Emily Blunt acted with him in it as well. And this movie barely has any speaking in it. I love the fact that we have a movie in 2018 where we have people who can't sit through a movie like this, but they did and enjoyed this. I love that this movie kept people's attention despite it not being a very talkative film, because I feel like that's such a different thing for modern audiences, like having a movie that barely has anybody speak. Like, I feel like that is interesting. And whenever I saw it in the theater, people literally, nobody talked. Like, I was surprised how respectful people were at this movie showing. Whenever I saw A Quiet Place, it blew me away just in how just a great idea this was, how great the performances were, how you cared so much for these characters. It gave such a great character piece for these people. Like, these actors are great, like usual. Emily Blunt, John Krasinski, the kid is really great, or the kids are great. They all blew me away in this really spectacular movie. Really inventive idea, really cool way of having a different type of movie for modern audiences. I love the fact that it was marketed in that way and people still went and saw it and enjoyed it, so I love that. It wasn't like the next 2 movies I'll talk about, which are very, in terms of like modern audiences and critics, is very divisive. And the first one is The Witch, that I got for $3.99. Awesome movie. I love this movie. It is very unconventional horror. Like in terms of like modern like blockbuster horror, it's not that at all. It's definitely not that. Set in the 1600s, it's about these characters who encounter a witch, but the way that they execute everything, the way that they execute these characters, the way that they execute the horror in this movie is not normal for blockbuster horror. And I love the fact that this one, despite getting a shit reputation from a lot of like modern audiences, this one, critics loved it. I loved it. I thought it was incredible. Love this movie. Only watched it once in the theater. So glad I got it for Black Friday for $3.99. Whatever the price was, $3.99. Great price. I really am excited to watch this one again. And the last one, and the other movie that's very non-conventional horror for modern audiences, is Hereditary. My favorite movie of the year. And I've seen, I think, 80 movies so far this year from 2018. Holy shit. So good. So good. This just, I don't even know what to say because I've reviewed it already, and I've just, like, I don't want to spoil it here, but like the way that everything, this is just an incredible piece of filmmaking from a first-time director who who said during this making of this film, Ari Aster, during the making of this film, he was saying how he hates horror movies, and he's making a horror movie. And I get his complete intention on what he is doing. He is trying to make a movie that is so non-conventional horror. It's not. It's like The Witch. It's not a horror movie that is for everybody. And I'm not gonna diss people who don't like it, but I understand completely. This just blew me away as an incredible character piece. Toni Collette's character in this movie, Annie, like the whole family, all four of them go through this struggle and this bizarre occurrence of something kind of like haunting them, like after their grandmother dies, and they are going through these awful situations with each other, and there is just some Oscar-winning performances from Toni Collette, and I think the kid who played Peter was incredible too, and the other two are great as well. Gabriel Byrne and the girl are great too, but like Toni Collette was incredible. That dinner scene that you've seen in the trailer where she screams at Peter like, "I am your mother." I'm not gonna say anything about that scene besides that because I was in the trailer, but that just incredible. And there's so many different things about this movie that are non-conventional for modern horror, because he does a thing where there's very long camera shots where nothing will happen. Nothing happens. It just builds up the anxiety. There's things with how these characters interact with each other that will make sense later, or how they respond in a way where it's like they are like you understand mentally how they are changing and how they are losing it because of something kind of haunting the presence of them, like as they are going through this tragedy of losing the mother. And it's just such a great mystery too. Whenever it gets resolved, some people were like, "Oh, that's a stupid resolution," but I thought it was perfectly fine, and I thought it actually worked really, really well. But based on performances alone and scares and being very non-conventional horror, this just is my favorite movie of the year. I was blown away by everything, and there were two moments in this movie where I will never forget how, even, I've seen it twice. I saw it twice in the theater. Every time there's these two scenes in the movie, they are that brutal and that disgusting and visceral that they stuck with me, and they are intense and cruel. And this movie is just a cruel movie where it's not a happy movie at all. It's very horror, like horror in a way that's not typically horror movies. Like, it's not that at all. So I love Hereditary. I think it's an incredible movie, my favorite movie of the year. So I'm so glad I got that. But that's it for my Black Friday buys. So thanks, guys. If you watched and stayed for this long, tell me down below what you guys got, or make a video about it. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.